Would it be trouble if they knew? I'm trying hard to make you see. All that you are is all that I need. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on, leave the lights on.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
Okay. And a very warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing channel. We're here for round 14 of the Formula 1 World Championship here. We're at Spa-Francorchamps. Many of you will recognise it. We all love it. We all cherish what is an absolutely phenomenal racetrack here in Belgium. and I'm sure we're in for an absolute cracker of a race. As you may recognise, my name is Andy, and I'm currently not joined by Emo Guy, otherwise known as Ian. I don't know where he is, but Ian, if you're out there somewhere, please help me, because you know how much I struggle commentating on Formula 1 by myself with the fast-paced, closely packed nature of this racing. It really is a bit of a challenge for me, so please come and save me if you can. But anyway, we've currently got 15 cars out on the track right now for this qualifying session, 16 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, and currently the guys just getting out on their out laps, ready to put in what I'm sure is going to be quite a difficult lap to put together around Spa. It's a very long lap around here, undulation plenty, and there's lots of tricky corners. It's a fast and flowing track in certain parts, but it's also very technical, so I'm sure we're going to be in for an exciting night of action, and it's going to also be interesting to see how the guys can handle the tyre wear, what sort of different strategies we're going to be seeing out on track with the pit stops. So at the moment we're just kind of getting our tyres warmed up. Let's quickly go through the championship standings while we're just getting into the flow of things. So coming into this round, Green Pies is still sat at the top of the championship standings by quite some way as well. Here he is driving in his customary orange McLaren, and he's still in the championship by quite a way from Just Jose. Just Jose did actually close the gap a little bit last time out at Hungary. He closed the gap. Obviously Just Jose took the win in the previous round, but Green Pies still leads by 52 points on 255 points from Just Jose on 203 in second in the standings. Then you've got Matahimovic sat in third place. Matahimovic has had a bit of a moment there, and his teammate Gary's just gone through, and Matahimovic, no way, he's just been disqualified from the qualifying session there for driving the wrong way down the track. So Matahimovic is out of qualifying. He will be starting this one from the back of the grid. That is incredibly unfortunate there for him. Comes into this one sat in third in the championship standings, but that is not going to do him any favours whatsoever. Disaster for Matahimovic. That's going to play into the hands of guys like Unorthodox, who is a big rival of Matahimovic. These two always have a good bit of banter behind the scenes. We've seen them have a couple of really good on-track battles over the course of this season, and a few thrills and spills. You know, they've had a few scuffles which have ended up in blood, sweat and tears for each of them, but Unorthodox comes into this one sat in fourth in the championship standings on 123 points, 132 behind the top man Green Pies. In fact, we are joined in the commentary booth right now by Matahimovic, who, as we just saw there, got disqualified from the qualifying session prematurely 3 minutes in. Matt, we saw it was apparently for driving the wrong way down the track. What happened, mate?
I touched the curve and span, went to turn the car back round, waited for this other car to come past me, and because it was rolling very slowly, I got disqualified.
Oh no! So
I've literally gone to flick the car back round to point in the right direction. I've been disqualified.
Were you actually going the wrong way, or?
It was rolling sort of up the track. The way I was, because I'd spanned, the way I was pointing was sort of facing the wrong way. So I was waiting to flick the car back round, but there was a car coming. So because it was rolling slightly that way, ready for me to flick the car around, I got disqualified.
Oh god, you kind of you kind of had to wait for them to come past, and you were sort of building up to turning it round, but then as you were just sort of coasting back into place, it just, oh mate, that is absolutely gutting there for you. Starting from the back, obviously yourself and Gary very much in the Constructors' Championship still. Gary's currently out on track right now, but not the situation that you guys would have wanted here to start off the evening for sure. But in terms of pace around this track, what sort of positions are you expecting? Obviously we can see Green Pies in the 142s. Are you guys expecting to get close to that?
Just to say, Red's just been disqualified for the same thing, so I'm not the only one to get disqualified for driving the wrong way.
No way, you couldn't make it up.
Pace isn't too far off the back of Green Pies from what I've done in testing based off of that. Tough race now though, from the back of the grid, with 15 guys on there. It's going to be a... GDBO's been disqualified as well.
No way, wow. Everybody seems to be falling foul of the race director. What is going on here? GDBO's may have been for speeding in the pits, possibly?
I don't know, I'd missed what it said on the bottom, but...
Oh no, it's that pit entry. It's that pit entry. He probably ended up reversing into the pits. I don't know. My goodness me, it's like everybody's being disqualified from the qualifying session. We started off with 15, we're now down to 12 drivers at the moment, but it's GreenPie's setting the pace on a 1:42.9. He's got 0.3 of a second over Brown McClue's. Evans driving a good qualifying right now, sat in third place. We've got Big Boy Brazier in the pits, currently on a 44.8. Jaffa Cake out there at the moment in that Red Bull, currently 5th in this qualifying session, a long way off of that top time being set by GreenPie's though. SYG Ghost, well, I've got to call him Sig, currently sat in 6th. He's 3.5 seconds off of GreenPie's, racing in his debut here at Motive Racing, driving the number 28 Ferrari. Keep an eye on him, see how he gets on. He's bringing it into the pits at the end of this lap, so he's clearly not expecting to go faster. Kieran Argent in 8th. Lucas Roth currently on his outer lap, on 9th in the leaderboard at the moment, but he hasn't set a lap as we said. Gary though, just making his way on the way through the last sector. Yeah, he did, didn't he? So I don't know what sort of what's the plan for qualifying, Matt? Is it qualify on the soft, see how much you can basically get the maximum out of that car? What's the idea?
We've not got the pace of GreenPie's and just Jose to go out on the medium tyre and qualify on their kind of pace. Them two guys are incredible. But I think for Gary, it's now he needs some points himself to get back on the back of Dan in the championship. So I think for Gary, it's a case of maybe get them mediums rubbered in with a lap, but get the softs and get a lap. And I know Gary's struggled in recent weeks, obviously track limits and a few crashes here and there. So hopefully he can be on the ball tonight and the Pink Panthers can be making their way through the pack, because it's not looking great at the minute.
Well, no, but he's still got time in this session to figure out what he's going to do. Maybe if he did qualify on a medium, regardless of where he starts on the grid, it pay dividends, especially around Spa. You just never know what's going to happen. It can, so many thrills and spills to be had. We're just seeing Jose goes top of the leaderboard there. He's 0.6 clear of GreenPie's at the top, and last time out we saw Jose taking the win at Hungary in dominant fashion, was pretty much in a class of his own this time a week ago. So he's picking up where he left off last time, and he's got a big gap to claw back on GreenPie's. Obviously 52 points between them. I've just got a Discord message from Emo Guy, so let's just have a look. He was just... oh, hold on. Oh, Emo Guy's not joining us tonight. Okay, right. So that's I guess that's unfortunate, but so it's currently just Jose setting the pace at the moment by 0.6 of a second. GreenPie's just coming out of the pits now for another run here in this session. Brown McClue's on his outer lap. We've got Evan in the pits, Unorthodox in the pits, Big Boy Brazier currently on his out lap at the moment, and looks like a lot of drivers either in the pits or on their out laps. Just Jose, the only one setting blistering pace at the moment, although is he on his in lap? I think he is. He's taking it easy here as he's on his way in to the pits. So halfway through this qualifying session here at Spa for round 14 of Motive Racing's Formula 1 World Championship. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody watching. Hit the like button if you're enjoying what you're watching as well. Massive shout out to the Patreons here at Motive, to those who've signed up to the Patreon service, whether it be Novice, Pro or Elite tier. Your contribution is massively appreciated, and we could not do this without you. That was a hiccup. But just Jose here is just coming into the pits to presumably make a couple of adjustments to his setup, maybe make some changes, something he's not entirely happy with, but he's got no reason to be too unhappy with the way that he's going right now, because he's setting the pace in this qualifying session, as we just see either Unorthodox or Kieran Argent pulling out of the pit box and on their way. I think it was actually Dan coming out of his pit box, so he's about to start his out lap. But Lucas Ross, the only driver on an actual flying lap at the moment, and he's just coming down the hill out of the corner with no name down towards Pouin in that number 12 Haas car. Lucas Roth, otherwise known as Keeks. He is actually the same driver as Keeks. For those of you who aren't aware, Keeks did pick up a ban on his PlayStation Network account. Matt, you know a little bit about this one.
Yeah, he's picked up a ban on his PlayStation account for 30 days, so he won't be back on the Keeks account until I think 2 more weeks, I think it is, after this. So yeah, you might see Lucas Roth out there a bit more.
Yeah, it's always makes me chuckle a little bit seeing Lucas Roth. For the first week I couldn't say Lucas Roth with a straight face, but for those of you who don't know, Lucas Roth is actually an AI on the Formula 1 game, and the Lucas Roth P1 name came about because I'm not going to name names unless it's appropriate. Shall I name and shame that? Shall I say who?
Hey, name and shame. Get it on the stream. Name and shame.
Gary131 had a race against the AI on F1 and got beaten by Lucas Roth, the AI. And so now
not even on full difficulty, can I just add as well? It wasn't on a
not even on
difficulty
full.
that was of a great standard.
No, it was shockingly bad AI, but Lucas Roth did actually finish ahead of Gary in that race. So Keegs, from that moment onwards, decided to make a tribute account to Lucas Roth, and hence Lucas Roth P1 came about, and this is the result of Gary's poor performance on Formula 1 2020. So yeah, that's I guess you shouldn't lose to the AI on F1. If you do, then you're going to get stick for it. That's just a given, isn't it? I'm afraid.
I think he needs to. I think this is possible. Why he's got put off last week. Lucas Roth being around Hungary, he picked up so many time penalties. He couldn't
concentrate.
Try and keep up with Lucas Roth. You know what I mean?
Actually, yeah, there were a few times where I noticed that they were close out on track, and I was thinking, I really want to get a glimpse of this, but I don't really want to bring too much attention to it. It could be seen as unprofessional, but hey, what is professionalism at the end of the day? Anyway, they're going to be quite close on the track by the looks of it, if things stay as they are, though, because Lucas Roth currently sat in P10, seems to be struggling to really get it down at the moment. Gary's out there on a flying lap. Let's see what he can do as he comes into the bus stop chicane. Oh, green pilot has crashed out of qualifying. I'm not sure what's happened. Were you watching him, Matt?
Straight into the back of Lucas Roth.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what happened. Lucas Roth didn't seem to be backing out of the lap. He seems to still be pushing hard there, and then Green Pies has just caught the back of him. I don't know. I don't know what's happened. But Lucas Roth's been given a 5-place grid penalty.
Yeah, I think Lucas Roth maybe wasn't adhering to the blue flags which were waving. He was on an in lap, and Green Pies was coming around at quite a rate of knots, coming through what I assume was campus when we picked them up. And
just coming into the right left-hander. Sorry.
Yeah, so the first part of campus obviously was Lucas Roth was on an in lap, and Green Pies has gone and clouted the back of him. So Green Pies is going to be starting at best in second place here, a front row start possibly for him, but he's not going to be on pole. Just Jose will be watching that and probably breathing a sigh of relief, knowing that he can maybe relax for the rest of this session. But he's still got Brown McClues and Gary out there, and Gary, to be fair, while we were watching, Lucas Roth there, Matt, has actually gone fourth, so he's really got it down in that racing point. Your teammate obviously flying the flag for the racing points tonight. The Pink Panthers very much you know, still represented at the top of that leaderboard, but he's just behind Brown McClues. But yeah, excellent stuff there from Gary at the moment. Unorthodox improves his lap time.
Though, Andy, he's got no end plate on the right hand side of his front wingers, Gary, so he's not done it easily, or unless he's made a mistake this lap. But Gary has an occasion on this game, you might have noticed commentating this season, just seeming to overdrive the car and push too hard in this car, and he seems to make a few mistakes in it, so you'll have to keep an eye on that one tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like he's a bit of inconsistency has plagued him over the course of this season. Just while we were watching Gary there, we saw Unorthodox move up into P6. I think he was actually already 6th, but he improved his lap time very slightly, not by enough to move himself up the order though. Let's grab a quick glimpse and see who's on what tyres. So we've got just Jose in the pits, and I think he must have surely done that on the soft tyres. I can't imagine he did it on anything else. Brown McClue's on the softs, we've got Gary on the softs, Evans out there on the soft tyres right now. Unorthodox, Big Boy Brazier, Jaffa Cake, Ghost, Kieran Argent, I don't know. Looks like everybody's on the softs, so very much the tyre of choice.
Best time on the mediums, which I'm
has he?
Surprised at. I tell you, the bonus for me though, Andy, in this going into this race though, is I get free tyre choice.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, you can go long into the first stint if you decide to put the mediums on. Maybe even a stint on the hards could keep you in good stead if you can get a bit of a way into the first stint. Then who knows what options it may open up for you later on in the race.
I'm not going to give too much away. I've got my big rival sat in this party over listed, so I'm not going to give. Don't want to give too much away because I've got to charge through the field now. And normally when me and Dan see each other, there's fireworks. But yeah, I don't want to give too much away on strategy just yet. But I'm thinking it over.
Unfortunately, we missed the most controversial incident between the two of you earlier this season at Motive because we had no stream for that one. That was Canada, Montreal, turn 5 was it? That left-hander, that tricky left-hander. It was a bit of a scuffle between the two of them. Unfortunately, it ended badly, and neither of these two believe that they were at fault for that collision. They both believe the other was at fault to this day. So it's an interesting one.
I kept going. I nearly won the race. I don't know what happened to Dan.
I've accepted it now. I've accepted that it was my fault. It's okay, Matt. I'll take the blame. It's fine. That's what true racers do. You know, they accept their faults and they move on. You know.
Unorthodox, otherwise known as the full guy. Yep, he's taking the full.
To be fair though, Dan, you are pushing harder. It's nice to see you starting to get the podiums that you deserve and the pace that you have outright.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, I literally have spent only 10 minutes just straight after work doing this. So yeah, it's going great.
Well, I'm going to leave you guys to it and get back into my other part of it. Pleasure, Andy Phibb. Chatting to you again.
Yeah, thanks for that, and cheers for keeping me company during the qualifying as well with my usual commentator Ian. Yeah, not being here unfortunately.
Best luck for the race, Dan, and have a good stream, Andy.
All the best.
Mate.
Have a good one. We're just seeing a comment here from AmazingPieBoy saying didn't help with half the motorway being shut for a car being on fire. So unfortunately, Ian having a few issues on his way to pick up his little one by the sounds of it. Hopefully he does join us at some point throughout the race, because I can't even begin to imagine how much this is going to kill my voice, having to chat constantly for the next 45 minutes by myself with no room to even breathe. But hey, that's what commentating is, isn't it? That's about pushing yourself to the limit. And obviously the guys out on track will give me something exciting to watch, but it's going to be quite tiring, guys. So if I do start spluttering or tripping over my words, then you know why.
Andy, don't you worry.
I got Dan in the commentary box as our in-race reporter, but obviously he's out on the track, so his vocabulary will be limited to expressions rather than insightful analysis. But hey, you know, it's still good to have him in the box. And it's always, yeah, absolutely. You know, Dan can tell us what's going on.
Guys, let's see some comments that get you keep Andy entertained. Let's get some comments. Let's see what you guys are going to come up with. Who you think is going to take the race win? All that lot. Let's hear from you guys. No hiding behind the screens. Let's see you guys. Let's go.
We have got a couple of comments coming in. Ram saying good luck to all the racers. Ram obviously making his second appearance here tonight at Motive Racing. His debut was last week at Hungary, so he'll be looking to try and build on what was a strong first showing. Got the only G saying, oh god, this game. He doesn't like F1 2020. If those of you who don't know, the only G did actually have a very short career in Motive Racing's Formula 1 league, but in the end it wasn't to be. I think he's probably a little bit stronger in the GT sort of like the closed cockpit cars than the single seaters, but obviously I'm only joking. The only G's pretty good in anything, but F1 2020 actually tried to drive without traction control at Motive, whereas I think everybody else was using traction control on medium. And he had the pace in qualifying, you know, he was still fast, but over the course of a race I think a couple of mistakes would creep in, and he was just trying too hard to keep up with guys who were using traction control, and when you're doing that it can be quite difficult. So the only G did delve into F1 for a little bit, but unfortunately had to pull out of the season due to other commitments. Still runs the streams though, still a co-founder at Motive, and does an absolutely brilliant job throughout the week. Fury's granddad saying, think you should predict Dan to win, Andy. How did you read my mind, Fury's granddad? You knew exactly what my plan was. You knew I was going to dump Dan in it at the earliest possible opportunity. I think Unorthodox is not only going to win this race, but he's going to get the fastest lap, and I reckon he's going to get pole on this final lap of his as well, as he comes into Campus Corner here in the Renault Formula 1 car. Obviously last season was Daniel Ricciardo's, now it's no longer actually in Formula 1, it's now being rebranded to Alpine, and we see Fernando Alonso doing a good job at Bahrain in the first round of the season. But what can Unorthodox do in what is now an old Formula 1 car? He has actually done, yeah, he has really dumped you in it here, as we see Unorthodox coming into Blanchimont for the final time here in this qualifying session. Checkered flag is out, this is going to be it. Looks like Big Boy Brazy has gone into P5 here towards the end of this qualifying session. A decent lap time there from him in the AMG. Unorthodox though out of the bus stop chicane. What is this going to be for Dan? He comes up towards the line, and it's not an improvement. He stays P7, unfortunately. That is going to be that then for the session, we believe. Green Pies does hold on for a front row start at the end, despite...
It was a 42.9, but I got an invalid lap because Fury's granddad cursed me.
Oh no, Fury's granddad.
I would have been second.
No, what have you done, Fury's granddad? You've just ruined it.
Thanks,
oh,
man.
Mate. Very unfortunate there for Dan. So anyway, he's going to start P7, and we know he's got... Oh wow, look at that. Just Jose has just done a 141.6 at the end of that session. That is absolutely unreal there from Just Jose. Now I know the Green Pies would have been close to that had he had a chance to put in a lap. He crashed out in the early stage of their qualifying, so don't rule out Green Pies in this race, but Just Jose very much the man to beat. as we're about to go racing here at Spa-Francorchamps. Let us know in the comment section who you think is going to take the win. We got Brown McClue saying best of luck everyone, have a good race. Brown McClue is lining up in third on the grid for this one. The only G saying make sure to like the video. Gelram mentioning there that he isn't using any assists for this, so fair play to you, Gelram. Good job, mate. We got the wall saying good luck guys, go on Orthodox. If you didn't catch the racing on Wednesday over on Assetto Corsa Competizione, guys, the wall was actually racing in that race alongside myself, and Dan was actually commentating on that one, and he took a liking to the wall, especially his name. Dan and Dr. Benji did have a good little bring on the wall. There we go. That's their little catchphrase that Dan and Dr. Benji have come out with for the GT4s. The wall in the comment section, getting behind the man who's made his name so famous here at Motive. Fury's granddad having a little chuckle at our little banter going on in the party chat. But here we go, guys. We've got 20 seconds left to go. This is the last chance to put in your bets. Place your bets before we get going. Obviously, this is not a bookmaking service, guys. Do not take this seriously. Please do not sue us. We don't need any more problems, guys. We really don't. We're already enough. Anyway, 5 seconds left to go here. We're about to go for the formation lap, and let us know who you think is going to take this win. I think a couple of drivers haven't readied up, so hopefully they do that before we get going. For those of you who haven't noticed, I am actually by myself in the commentary box at the moment. Unfortunately, Emo Guy is not with us. He has had to go and pick up his little one, and I think there's a bit of traffic on the actual roads, not on the track. Yeah, he's struggling to get back to us. So hopefully Ian will join us in the box at some point, but he's not currently with us at the moment. But it's just Jose leading us around for this formation lap. 4 drivers have been disqualified from the formation lap before we've even got going, so that bodes well. But obviously they will be able to take the start regardless, because the Formula 1 game is can be a little bit funny with that. But currently got 17 people watching on the stream right now. Drop a like on this video, guys, if you haven't already, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. If you want to get involved in the on-track action, then go to motiveracing.com and sign up, get yourselves involved as drivers out on the track. We're midway through the season at the moment, but we will have a new season starting up probably at the end of May sort of time. So if you want to join temporarily as a reserve for this season, or even get a few opportunities to cut your teeth into some action, then go to motiveracing.com. If you want to get involved full time, then probably end of May, start of June is probably your best bet for that one. Depending on when we start, we will be probably publishing our next season dates quite shortly. But currently on this formation lap at the moment, it's a very long lap here at Spa. It takes a while to get around, but just Josie there putting in an absolute stonker at the end of that qualifying session. He was absolutely on fire, wasn't he? 1.3 seconds he had of a gap over the rest of the field. Green Pies obviously crashed out of qualifying in the early stages, so he didn't really get to put a lap in that was representative of his pace. I'm sure he'll be giving Just Jose a bit of a challenge over the course of this one, but we'll have to wait and see whether or not it's going to be enough. Brown McClue's there, sat in third. Only got 5 cars on this formation lap, so lots of retirements throughout the course of this formation lap. That will obviously change once we get to the start. So we've got the predicted pit stop strategies. They reckon that it's going to be about 5 to 7 laps maximum you're going to be able to do on the soft tyres, which means that we'll be seeing a lot of drivers pulling in early. Safety cars will definitely play a factor. If we see a few safety cars, then it will definitely throw a spanner in the works for the drivers who make a strong start to the race. But here we go, we're lining up on the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing, and stand by for the lights coming on in a few moments time, as we just see Green Pies there pulling onto the left hand side of the grid on P2. Brown McClue's pulling into third, Just Jose starting this one on pole. And here we go, we are about to go racing here at Spa for round 14 of Motive Racing's Formula 1 World Championship. When those lights come on, we will be moments away. The engines just go absolutely deadly quiet as we prepare ourselves. And here we go, the lights are coming on, we're about to go racing here at Spa. And it is lights out and away we go, and it's a good start there from Just Jose off a pole position. Green Pies looks like he didn't get quite as strong of a start there. He's going to try around the outside, actually enters that source, outbreaks himself massively, and he gets a bit of a tap in the rear there from Gary. And also we've got a Ferrari going out wide there. I think that was Evans there, really using the runoff area coming out of last source, but it's Just Jose leading ahead of Green Pies. Brown Recluse there in third, just ahead of Gary. Looks like Unorthodox has made a decent start up into 5th place. Big Boy Brazier down to 6th, not the best of starts for him. GDBO in 7th, just behind these guys. Is anybody going to try and make a move down the Kemmel Straight? You've got a very long stretch coming up here. GDBO's had to back out of it, and we've got a VSC already as we see Jaffa Cake and Rednas have crashed out of the race already. We can't completely miss that on the stream, but Jaffa Cake and Rednas have had a bit of a to-do, and they're out of the race in the first few corners. We've already got a VSC. Just Jose leads the field ahead of Green Pies. Brown Recluse there in third, Gary 4th. We've got Unorthodox, Big Boy Brazier, GDBO Evans, Sig Ghost in 9th, Lucas Taroff, Matahimovic, Kieran Argent and Gelram in 13th place. Big Boy Brazier picking up a 5-second penalty there for a collision with Unorthodox. Hopefully there's not too much damage on those cars. Jaffa Cake's left the session. He's out of this one, unfortunately, at the early stages of this race, but an interesting start to that one. Interesting indeed. It looks like the VSC's already peeled off here, and we've got a move coming up towards campus there. It looks like Gary's trying to get something done here with Brown Recluse. Can't quite get it done at the moment. Unorthodox though looking in the background, and Unorthodox you saw having a little look to the inside of Gary coming in towards Stavilo. Not quite in range to go for a dive up the inside, but he's going to have to run coming through the final sector of this lap here at Spa into the slipstream. Gary is going to try and defend the inside line if he can. Dan's going to try and go around the outside here of Blanchimont. Has to just back out the throttle a little bit there because he wasn't quite in a position to go for it, as we now see Gary pulling to the outside. No, he cuts back to the inside. Oh, and Dan goes for the brakes, and Dan's into the wall. He's out of the race. Unorthodox has crashed out. We were riding on board with him there as he went straight into the back of Gary. Gary had to brake early to avoid going into the back of Brown Recluse, and it looks like Dan caught out there in the braking zone. He is out of this race in the very early stages. Disaster for Unorthodox. Fury's granddad has well and truly put the curse on Dan for tonight. That is so unfortunate there for Dan. As we now watch Green Pies here. Looks like is he already putting a lap on someone? What is happening? Well, Gary there sat 3 seconds behind Green Pies on the road. Brown Recluse looking to try and line up a move here. We've got a VSC again. I'm surprised it's not a full safety car with Dan crashing pretty much in the thick of the action there. But it's a VSC it is, and Brown Recluse down to 5th. It's down to 4th, sorry, even. And we've got Just Jose leading this field by 3 seconds at the moment ahead of Green Pies. So the timing board there just telling us all sorts of lies once again, but Just Jose's tried to break away at the front, obviously had pole position by 1.6 seconds in the qualifying, and it looks like Green Pies has managed to pull up onto him a little bit due to those the concertina of the VSC. Gary there running 3 seconds behind these two, but Green Pies is taking the fight to Just Jose, and that's what we wanted to see. We wanted a fight out the front. Just Jose seemed like he had a lot in hand over Green Pies in qualifying, but so far we've seen an exciting start to the race. Lots of drama, and Unorthodox unfortunately out of the race. Oh, and Evans is out of the race as well. He's just lost it coming out of Stavilo. Got a little bit too heavy onto the curb. That's surely going to be a safety car. I can't see how that's not going to be a safety car. He's right on the track in the middle of the final sector between sector 2 and 3, the little cut-off area. Big Boy Brazier is coming up on the scene, but that has got to be a safety car, surely you would think. As we can see Matahimovic and Gelram side by side. Matahimovic trying to make damage imitation in this race after starting at the back, and he's got around Gelram up into 6th place, but Gelram's going to try and get the cut back out of the last corner. The bus stop chicane out onto the main straight. It looks like they're side by side. Matahimovic will have the inside line for last source. Is he going to be able to hold it, or is the Gelram going to hold it around the outside? I think Matt's going to cover that one off, but still Gelram with a nice run there coming out of last source. They got Lucas Roth waiting in the wings, hoping to get involved. Gelram's got back ahead of Matt on the run up towards our Rouge, and he's back up into 4th place. Incredible action between these two guys, and we see there Lucas Roth can get a little bit hot onto the curb there coming through Rallye-On. Keeps it together though coming down the Kemmel Straight. What incredible racing from these three guys, and Matahimovic loses out to Johan for 4th place, but he's looking back up the inside into the Coombe. Not quite close enough. He's not going to get that one done. It's coming through there. Absolutely incredible stuff though in the opening few laps of this race. Just Jose's managed to pull out a 1.5 second gap over Green Pies, so he's clearly got the ascendancy here. GDBO running in 3rd, Joram having got ahead of Matahimovic, now in 4th place just ahead of Matt and Lucas Roth. Kieran Argent running in 7th, a little way behind them. Gary in 8th place, not the race that he would have wanted. Big Boy Brazier has had some problems in this race as well. Brown McClue's currently running in the final top 10 spot after running up the front earlier on. Obviously that he's running down the field due to that collision with Unorthodox coming into the bus stop chicane. Dan crashing out on the opening lap of the race. Clearly the commentator's curse. Well, yeah, well, I suppose it was kind of my fault because I did put the curse on him as well. But clearly that is it's been his undoing here in this race. The Wall in the YouTube comment section is saying no. Oh, I'm so sorry, The Wall. I am so sorry for your loss in this race. I think I've just heard a little bit of feedback in the background there. I don't know whether or not Unorthodox is joining us in the box or whether that was him turning his mic off. It could have actually been him turning the mic off. But currently got just Josie leading by 2.6 seconds ahead of Green Pies. GDBO running 7 seconds behind him at the moment. Jelram has still got Matahimovic pressuring him as they come up towards that source. Matt has a little look to the inside and Jelram has leaving the door open. Matt's got that one done there brilliantly, and also running on the medium tyres. Can't knock Matt for the start that he's made to this race, considering he's on the tyres with less grip. He will also be able to go longer into this first stint because of that. So it's really going to pay dividends for Matt in this race if he can just keep doing what he's doing. He's made the progress. He's currently 6 seconds behind GDBO. I reckon Matt could be on for a podium here, but Joram's got the run coming up towards Lacombe. He's breezed past him down the Kemmel Straight like he's not even there, and he's back up into 3rd place, and Joram looks like he's also been followed through there by Lucas Roth. So Matahimovic losing 2 positions there in the space of a couple of corners. Not the situation that he would have hoped for in his comeback in this race, but Lucas Roth's gone wide coming down the hill into that right-hander, and it looks like he's got the position back there. So Matahimovic back up into P5, Lucas Roth losing out, but now the question is, can Matahimovic get back onto the rear end of Jelram and get himself into 4th? If he can, then he can try and chase down the leaders, and he's definitely the man with the strategy card in this one, is Matahimovic, because as on those medium tyres he can go very long into this first stint. That will definitely work out for him if he just perseveres with this and keeps driving in the way that he is at the moment. Currently we've got a fight going on for 9th place here. Big Boy Brazier and Brown McClue separated by half a second. Is Brown McClue's going to try and eye up, making a move up the inside of Big Boy Brazier at some point on this lap, I think. Is well, these two are both out of position, aren't they, because they both qualified up high in the qualifying session, but the start of the races for each of these two has not really gone to plan. Brown McClue's getting caught up with Unorthodox. Big Boy Brazier there not having the best of opening laps. But it's definitely going to be an exciting prospect to see how these guys can come back throughout the course of this race. But in the meantime, it's just Jose leading by 3.6 seconds ahead of Green Pies, and he's continuing to pull out that gap over the championship leader. Just Jose knows he needs to keep getting wins at the moment. It just needs to keep winning and winning and winning, because Green Pies has a 52-point lead over him in the championship. These two, we've pretty much said since the opening few rounds, are the only championship contenders. They're up until the round at Paul Ricard, it was actually only those two who had won races throughout this Formula 1 season at Motive Racing. Then Gary came along and put a stop to that trend. Obviously just Jose and Green Pies have taken the lion's share of the victories though this season. I think just Jose's taken 5 wins and Green Pies I think 7 maybe. I don't know, it's hard to keep track, but I know that Gary's taken 1 win. We've had 13 rounds this season, this being round 14, so I think Green Pies has had 7 wins, just Jose's had 5, and Gary with just the 1 so far this season. But yeah, it's been very much between these two throughout the course of this season. Currently both of them on the soft tyres. Just Jose clearly has the slight pace advantage over Green Pies. Green Pies, one would imagine, he's going to have to try and play a card with the strategy in this race. Maybe he's going to try and do a one-stopper. No, he's coming in early, so he's coming into the pits like at the end of lap 5. We know the pit window for the soft tyres is around between lap 5 and lap 7, so Green Pies interestingly pulling the trigger. Just Jose is going to continue on his way. And Matahimovic has got Jelram very close up the back of him here in this battle for 4th, as these two are coming out of the bus stop chicane out onto the start-finish straight once again. Jelram keeps continuing to pile the pressure on. Lucas Roth watching this unfold in front of him. He's done bits so far in this one. In fact, he's actually, well, timing board's just messing up a little bit there, but it looks like Matt is hold on, Green Pies. What's the ones of Green Pies? Green Pies has been into the pits, so he's come out behind Matt. Oh, Green Pies gets caught out on cold tyres. He's into the wall on the exit of El Rouge. Joe gets caught up in that. It's a VSC once again. Drivers are crashing out left, right and centre here at Spa tonight. Green Pies, the championship leader, has had an absolute mare, and it looks like somebody else is in the wall. Oh no, it's MeltedDazzer has gone into the wall. He manages to keep the car going in the race. What's going on? Gary's in the wall. Oh my goodness me. Green Pies out of the race. Gary bins it into the wall. He's now got damage. He manages to keep himself in the race, but he's going to have to limp round to the pits. So many drivers having problems here at Spa tonight. Just Jose, the man who is having absolutely no issues whatsoever, continuing to lead the race. He's probably sat there wondering what's going on. There's now 8 cars left on the track. But Green Pies crashing out of the race. Gelram following him into the wall almost sympathetically. And GDBO's picked up a drive-through for speeding under the VSC, so that is not going to be what he would have wanted in this race whatsoever. Just Jose, though's got 13 seconds of a lead over GDBO and MeltedDazzer. It wasn't him that crashed into the wall, it was Gary, his teammate, who went into the wall coming through El Rouge and Radion. But it looks like Gary has kept himself going. He's going to have to pit though at the end of this lap, and it looks like he's moving well out of the way there as Brown McCluse and Big Boy Brazier come through to move ahead of him. But this is now turning into a bit of a crash fest. We have 15 cars start this race. We're now down to 8 drivers, so clearly, and make that, yeah, no, it's still 8 as Red Nass leaves the session. But currently we got 5 drivers with time penalties at the moment. MeltedDazzer, Kieran Argent, Brown McClure, Big Boy Brazier and Gary have all picked up time penalties. Currently just Jose, GDPO and Lucas Roth still the only drivers without penalties at the moment. But oh, in fact, actually I'm not sure now, because the timing board's kind of adjusting itself a little bit. But just Jose gap to MeltedDazzer, currently 20 seconds out on track. GDPO further 9 seconds back. Kieran Argent in 4th, 3 seconds behind them. Let's go have a quick look at the pit stops and see exactly what the situation is with these. So Brown, McCluse, Lucas, Big Boy Brazier and Gary have all made their stops in this race. Just Jose, MeltedDazzer, GDBO and Kieran Argent still yet to come in at some point throughout the course of this race. But this is quite a turnout for the books. Green Pies, the championship leader, the man who had a 52-point gap in the championship, is out of the race. So this is going to really play into the hands of just Jose. It's going to make the title battle much more exciting now. It's going to be 27 points as it stands, and if Jose can pick up the fastest lap, then it'll be 26, the gap between the two of them. That gap, 26 points, it could go either way. That's a race winning the fastest lap. So if Green Pies was to do the same thing next week and just Jose were to repeat the feat of what he's doing this week, touch wood, then you know we could be seeing them two tied on points in a couple of rounds time. Now obviously that's all theoretical, but you know, don't write anything off. We've got Killian in the comments, that's otherwise known as Green Pies, saying I don't want to talk about it. That's obviously gutting there for Green Pies. He is one of the commentators here at Motive, so he does have access to our comms booth. Green Pies, if you're listening, mate, jump in, let us know what happened, tell us all about it if you want. But I will understand if you don't. Obviously he did make it clear he does not want to talk about it, so maybe we shouldn't be inviting him to come and talk about it. But hey, I want to get some insight. I want to know what's going on. I want to get the inside scoop on what's happening out on track. But obviously we're gutted for you there, Green Pies. You've still got a big lead in the championship though. You've still got the ascendancy over just Jose, but just Jose is going to now have the momentum in that fight. And it looks like Kieran Argent's crashed out of the race. Kieran Argent's crashed, and it looks like Lucas Roth is coming up on the scene. We'll ride on board with Lucas Roth and see if we can catch a glimpse of the stricken car Kieran Argent. It's in the same place again. Somebody else has crashed coming through Radion. This is unprecedented. Everybody seems to be crashing through Radion. El Rouge and Radion seems to be catching out every driver, and we are joined in the box by Green Pies. Green Pies, mate, we saw you in the wall coming through El Rouge and Radion, and Kieran Argent's just done the same thing. Absolutely everybody seems to be making mistakes there, and we're down to 7 cars. So unfortunate for you, mate. Obviously the gap to just Jose's going to come down. Just tell us what happened there.
Someone definitely left their Mario Kart banana peel at the top of that hill, like. I guess I may as well commentate the rest of the race with you.
Yeah, it'd be good to have some company in the box. But yeah, I'm absolutely gutted there for you, mate.
I was following too close behind MeltedDazzer. Had all my ARS going, highest engine power, just caught out by the dirty air and just spun round.
Oh, that's really unfortunate there. I don't know if you saw Gelram. He did the exact same thing as you just afterwards. He literally went straight into the barriers just after you went into them.
I heard someone crashed into. I was just sitting there in silence, just like I didn't know. I said some choice words, which I'm not going to say on stream, but. Yeah.
Well, we all know what those were, but we can guess. But yeah, that's not the situation that Green Pies would have wanted in this championship. Just Jose currently doing what he has to do out the front, which is only going to make matters worse. It's going to compound what is going to be a frustrating night for yourself there, Killian. But just Jose, 52 points behind you in the championship. He's currently got on course for a win, plus an extra point for fastest lap. Are you now sat there hoping that MeltedDazzer can take some points off of him, or what's the?
Well, you see, now that I'm in the box, my commentator's curse has been activated, so I hope Jose does win.
Yep. Yep, I've absolutely.
And the curse is working very strong tonight for sure.
Yeah, well, I did say that I wanted Dan to win, and he.
Oh, for God's sake! There's you, there's Handy, there's Fury's granddad. Who else? There was probably the wall as well. Literally, the whole race was against me. But as soon as I got into the lobby, let alone the bloody actual race.
Literally, right? If you get one person putting a commentator's curse on you, you might end up coming 4th or 5th. If you get 4 or 5 people backing you, you crash out on the first lap.
It starts off with a bad qualifying, followed by then trying to make a move on Gary and Brown Recluse, too busy tripping over each other, and end up just hitting Gary. No, you know, just stupid mistakes. And also, I must add, right, some of the stupid stop-start stuff in this virtual safety cars and safety cars needs to stop, guys. It's ridiculous. I had Brown Recluse hit the brakes, I then had Gary hit the brakes, and then I hit the brakes, and then that's allowed Jamie Brazy to hit me in the rear. Jamie, I was not brake testing you, I swear to God, but it's just a domino effect. If someone hits the brakes too hard, the rest of us are going to do exactly the same. It needs
well, I
to
think
stop.
there'll be a few stewards' inquiries about that then. Definitely about my qualifying, where I ran into the back of someone.
Well, it's what it is. There's nothing we can do about it now. But the start-stopping needs to stop, guys. And you've got to be aware of who's around, okay? So, it's just frustrating.
We've got a few comments coming in here. MeltedDazzer there saying to Green Pies, I did tell you to take the week off.
He did. I can't even lie, he did say that.
Yeah.
He still technically get a point, though. He still technically gets a point because he's in 10th.
We were having a little chat. Yeah, you would actually, but I don't think.
Yes.
No, because you don't complete 90% race distance, and you don't. I think it's only if you complete 90% of the race distance and you get points. Otherwise, you're not eligible. I think that's the rule in F1. I may be wrong. If I am wrong, then somebody may be able to clarify that in the comments.
I'll go read through the entire F1 or FIA handbooks for you.
I'm going to just say this now. Haas are going to score as many points in one season in just one race right now in any of their seasons. I mean, they're currently 3rd and 5th right now. I mean,
Lucas Ross is having an absolute belter.
Brown Recluse right now to replace Magnussen and Grosjean and Schumacher and who's the other really bad driver?
Mazepin.
Yeah, the Mazepin dude. Get these two to replace them, because at the minute they're sitting 3rd and 5th and they're gaining massive amount of points just for Haas.
In all fairness, more than half the grid has crashed out.
What are you talking about, mate? We're all sitting here enjoying a Grand Prix, you know? I'm sat at the back, technically. You just can't see me, I'm just so far behind.
No, he's actually he sat on a tyre wall at the bus stop chicane, wondering what he did wrong. Wondering what mistakes he made in life to have got here.
I got my picnic bench out. I got my camping chair out, you know, to
Fernando Alonso style.
Exactly, yeah. I'm currently at the bus stop chicane enjoying the views where my crushed Renault is right now.
Yeah, I saw that on the mini-map, just as I was coming through the bus stop chicane. I just saw a yellow dot go veering off into the runoff there, and I was like, oh, hi Dan.
What did you think it was me? It could have been Argent.
Because Argent wasn't behind me at the time, you were. I could see you on like the top 5, and then you weren't there anymore, and I was like, oh, that's Dan.
It frustrated me because I did have good pace, and if I got past Brown Recluse and Gary, I think I might have been able to catch you, mate, but it would have taken some driving. But,
Yeah, well...
hey, that's why we're sat in the commentary box and these guys are racing.
Yeah. Well, next week is Monza, so...
Oh my god, even better. Safety car is in this lap, guys, so...
Well, Monza turn 1 is always a little bit of an interesting one, isn't it? You can see it can be a crash fest. It can be, if it's in the wet, then God help everybody out there, but it hopefully shouldn't be. But yeah, Monza's always an exciting race. Lots of slipstream, lots of opportunities to overtakes. So definitely tune in next week, guys, for an absolute thriller on that one turn 1.
That's it. That's if all of us finish as well.
Yeah, just tune in for that one turn 1. After that, then you can go back to your knitting or whatever. But
I blame this crash on Kurt right now.
Kurt Hodgson is at fault. Yeah. Absolutely. Blame Kurt Hodgson. But we're coming out of the last corner now to restart the race. Lap 10 of 22. On to lap 11. It's just Jose leading the field ahead of RaKiMaJe. Lucas Roth there sat in third. GDBO fourth. Brown Recluse, Gary and Big Boy Brazier. 7-car field for this Belgian Grand Prix. We started with 15. We are down to 7 cars. Half the field have crashed out, and just Jose is already leaving them for dead. 1.7 seconds over RaKiMaJe. Lucas Roth currently facing heavy pressure there from GDBO to come up through Eau Rouge and Radion now. He's in that slipstream. No DRS though on the opening lap of a restart. GDBO's going to have to get it around him the hard way here. He's going to have to use up his ERS here and go for a move coming up towards the coup. He's got the inside line and he's going to make that move into the corner. He has got that one up into third place. GDBO, very nicely done there. Lucas Roth didn't fight that one too hard as Lucas Roth goes a little bit wide there on the exit of the next corner. Brown Recluse is now roll over the back of him as they come down the hill, down towards this tricky right-hander, but in the end Brown Recluse backs out of that one. He's not quite in range to go for the move up the inside of Lucas Roth there. Gary and Big Boy Brazier watching this unfold, and we saw Gary go a little bit wide there through that corner. Big Boy Brazier is going to try and seize on that if he can. Down the hill towards Pouhon we go. Is Big Boy Brazier close enough? No, not quite. Brown Recluse very wide there through Pouhon. Gary's picked up a penalty for track limits, presumably. Multiple warnings it says on the screen. He is picked up throughout the course of this race, but he's still right on the back of Brown Recluse and Lucas Roth, and Big Boy Brazier just hoping that these guys can trip over each other possibly. GDBO still right on the back of RaKiMaJe. This is the fight for P2. Just Jose though is absolutely checked out at the front. He has run off with this one. Look at that. We're already a lap into this restart. He's already got 4 seconds up the road. Incredible stuff. As we can see, Big Boy Brazier's fallen off the back of this pack here. Lucas Roth, Brown Recluse and Gary still fighting it out for 4th place. Riding on board now with Gary as we see Brown Recluse pull into the outside into the bus stop chicane. Late on the brakes, almost banging more stable Lucas Roth. Lucas Roth holds the inside line coming into the bus stop. It looks like he's going to hold on to 4th place, but it looks like now Gary trying to see facing on these scraps. A little bit loose there out of the last corner. Bit of oversteer, but it looks like he gets away with it. Brown Recluse right on the back of Lucas Roth still into the last source, not quite in range to go for a lunge up the inside. And whilst this is going on, it's allowing RaKiMaJe and GDBO to pull away from these guys a little bit now. RaKiMaJe out of DRS range to GDBO. But exciting racing between these 4 guys. Lucas Roth, Brown Recluse, Gary and Big Boy Brazier here, Green Pies. Oh! Gary's lost it! Gary's out of the race! We're down to 6 drivers! We're down to 6! What's going on? We got another safety car! Oh my god, will this race ever finish?
Oh, that is...
You could not make this up. You could not write this, could you?
This reminds me of the 2005 American GP, where only 5 people started the Grand Prix. Maybe 5 people will only finish this.
This is unprecedented here. I've never seen anything like this on the F1 game here at Motive. We've had 13 rounds this season, and for the most part, we've always had at least 10 drivers finish the race. We've got.
I think we have every single race until this one. We've had at least 10 drivers finish.
Yeah, it's been pretty good in terms of drivers finishing the full race distance, but at the moment it's all gone horribly wrong. That form that we've had over the course of this season has truly gone to pot. I think that Spa is a difficult mistress to negotiate, and clearly Gary, Kieran, Joram, Killian, Evans, Ghost, Dan, Jaffa Cake and Rednas all out of this one, and not even we're just over halfway through the race, and we've already lost 9 drivers from the race. 6 cars, and then there were 6 here at Spa-Francorchamps.
This is probably up there with the Silverstone race. Probably one of the more boring races to race in.
Yeah, it looked like just Jose's really got some scorching pace there at the front, to be fair. He's clearly done the work over the course of this last week. Obviously, we saw just Jose closing the gap to you last week, Green Pies, but you know, I don't want to put too much pressure on you, mate. But it's looking like that fight is on. You know, that gap is going to be coming down at quite a rate now. Obviously, you had a 68-point lead going into Hungary. It's now going to be 26. Couple of bad rounds is all it takes to swing the pendulum in favour of the chasing driver. And,
well, myself and Jose are in another league, and we were racing at Monza last night, and I know that my race pace is faster than Jose's at Monza in the dry.
Well, that bodes well, but whether or not he's going to respond to that, maybe, because he will have seen that last night, and he might be working on that now. He might have seen that and thought, I've got some work to do. I need to pick it up a little bit. But what was the result in yesterday's race? Who finished higher up?
I'm actually teammates with him, and I got spun round by someone else. I would have gotten the win, but it was an AlphaTauri 1-2, him in first, me in second, just about.
Fair dues. So good stuff there. Obviously, these two friends outside of Motive, and they clearly get on, but they've got a fierce championship battle to fight for here. And just Jose's going to take a lot of points out of Green Pies here in this one, that is for sure. Brown McClue's currently made. Oh, sorry, mate.
Never say never. Eau Rouge, he's still got to go up at least 11 more times, or wait, 9 more times. Sorry.
Yeah, anything can happen. We're going to watch just Jose each time he goes through Eau Rouge now. We're going to sit there and we're going to just watch him and just be like, come on, do a pivot, do a twirl, give us a show, do something.
Give GDPO the win. Give GDPO the win.
Just do something. But currently under safety car right now, ladies and gentlemen, for the Belgian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing, round 14 of the season. I just want to say, while we're on stream and while we've got absolutely nothing happening, I want to say a big thank you to all patrons of Motive, to those of you who signed up to our Patreon service. A huge thank you to the contribution that you guys make, whether it be the novice, pro or elite tier. Your contribution is enormously appreciated, and I just want to say hats off to those of you who've put your faith and your belief in us, and we always strive to work as hard as we can to make sure that faith is justified. So yeah, those of you who haven't joined Motive, please come over to motiveracing.com, join the Discord server, get involved in some of the most authentic sim racing, or indeed e-racing. This I wouldn't call F1 sim racing, to be fair, but it's some of the most authentic e-racing experience that you could possibly hope for on PlayStation, and we're expanding to PC pretty soon as well. We'll be solely on, I think, ACC for PC and nothing else on terms of PC to start off with, but I'm sure we will be expanding to F1 and most likely iRacing. Yeah, we should be expanding to F1 and iRacing on PC shortly afterwards as well, but we're starting off on ACC. So if any of that tickles your fancy, guys, if you race on PlayStation or PC, come over to motiveracing.com and get involved in the Discord server. Join us out on track. Our new season will be starting at the end of May, so make sure you check that out. The date's not confirmed yet, but it will be the end of May. This current season that we're in right now, set to end, well, most of the championships end on the 1st of May, but the touring cars will be ending on the 9th due to the double distance event for our super season on ACC for the GT3s. So our season will be pretty much ending on the 1st of May, but touring cars will be extending a week extra to the 9th. So definitely put that in your diaries for the opening. The start of next season should be around, I think, 23rd, something like that. 23rd, 24th of May, that sort of time. So yeah, definitely keep that note in your diaries, guys. Go to motiveracing.com, as I say, so you'll know exactly when that's coming about.
Jose is doing a lot of weaving.
He is, yeah. He's really trying to keep some temperature in those mediums, isn't he? Actually,
he doesn't really need to do that. He just needs to wait until like the next straight that they'll be on, and then he does it. Like, all he's doing is just wasting tyre.
Yeah, he is. And one thing I think just Jose should probably, in fact, I think everyone on track except MeltedDazzer, I think, can go to the end on these tyres. MeltedDazzer, I'm just noticing.
Go to the end, I think.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he might be able to, because if we're on the safety car, then he'll only have to do 8 racing laps, won't he? So yeah, he should be okay.
He should be fine, but he better be safe going up Rouge and Radion with those worn tyres. See, like, this is the straight that they should start warming their tires up on now that they know the safety car's coming in. Because all that they've done beforehand is just wasted their tire.
That's it. Yeah, it takes unnecessary pressure out of the out of them for sure. So we can just see Jose there continuing to really get that car moving from side to side, keeping those temperatures at optimum range. GDBO is going to try and get the jump. This could really be GDBO's only opportunity to take the lead of this race, because we know how quick Just Jose is. He's coming into the bus stop now. He's gone deep into the bus stop, and Just Jose is going to put his foot to the floor, and we're going to be green once again here at Spa, maybe for the final time here in this race, who knows. 8 laps left to go for the Belgian Grand Prix. Just Jose already has a second of a gap to DDBO. Grand Recluse, Lucas Rock, Big Wheel Brazier. Yeah, looks like Matimovic has done that move there on Big Wheel Brazier brilliantly into that source, and he's pulled it off up into P5, but Just Jose leads coming up towards El Rouge. GDBO, Brown Recluse, Lucas Rock, Matimovic and Big Wheel Brazier completing the top 6 in what is a very depleted field for this round 14 of Motive Racing's Formula 1 season, and it's been a little bit disappointing that so many drivers have crashed out. We started off with 15, we're down to 6, 9 drivers crashed out over the course of this one, but at the end of the day, it's just you know, that's racing, isn't it? And Spa can be a tricky beast. As the only G saying, everyone became a Ferrari driver, Spinala, hashtag blame Kurt Hodgson. RaKiMaJe, 15 F1 drivers on the fence. 9 F1 drivers on the fence, actually, Raki. Morgan ending saying, definitely Kurt's fault. Motoring Morgan there, jumping on the bandwagon. We've got the only G saying, another one bites the dust. Fury's granddad, can't blame me for this lot. No, we certainly can't, Fury's granddad. We can blame you for Dan, and I think Dan was really the catalyst for all
Lucas
these other ones. So we could indirectly. Yeah, he is. As we can indirectly hold you responsible for this, Fury's granddad, but not directly. You're you know, you're like you're a determining factor, but you're certainly not the root cause. The only G saying safety car is going to win. Just Jose versus the safety car. As we can currently see the fight between Matimovic, Lucas Roth and Big Wheel Brazier really continuing to rage on as they come up towards the bus stop chicane. It's hopefully Big Wheel Brazier doesn't do a Dan into the bus stop and wipe both of them out, as we can see.
Does.
Oh no, he tags the back of him a little bit. Matt's into the pits. Has he got a drive through maybe?
No, I don't think so. His wing's fine.
I wonder what's going on there with Matimovic, but he's coming in, so I guess now there are 5 drivers really in the fight.
Yeah, there's a drive-through.
Yeah, drive-through there for Matimovic, clearly falling foul of the race director in some way or another. Kurt has definitely put a curse on this race, says Motoring Morgan. I 100% agree with you, Morgan, there. I think there needs to be a steward inquiry into Kurt Hodgson, the championship leader and lead coordinator for the ACC GT3s. I think he's the man who's put this conspiracy together. Matimovic there saying GDBO keeps stop starting. Maybe a steward inquiry post-race for that one. Matimovic, Fury's granddad, enjoying the banter that we've got going on here in this race, but we've got 6.5 laps left to go at Spa, and it's currently just Jose leading the race. But GDBO, to be fair, this time green pies, and this hasn't been a theme throughout the course of this race. I don't know where GDBO's found this pace from. He suddenly seems like he's able to keep up with just Jose. This has come out of nowhere.
Well, GDBO has no ERS left. He's currently driving around with no ERS, like literally 0 ERS.
That would explain it.
So, now just Jose is going to just walk away, basically.
Yeah, pretty much the tail end of this lap is going to be a struggle for GDBO in this very fast section of the track, coming through Blanchimont up towards the rush stop chicane. He's going to lose hand over fist.
He is gaining time.
That's just shows they got some damage on that Alpha Tauri. His teammate keeping him honest here, or is just Jose just teasing us a little bit, so we think that there might be a fight.
He might be saving fuel.
Yeah, potentially. Or is he teasing us, trying to keep us on our toes as we come into the closing stages of this race? JPOM saying 6 drivers only, and everybody crashed already. No, of course not. Why do you think there are 6 cars on the... No, we just... No.
We had to take a break. We had to give these guys a chance.
No, we needed a water break, so 9 drivers missed the start. Unfortunately, we started a little bit too early, and a few drivers were still sat in their motorhomes, so unfortunately those 9 drivers didn't make the rest of the race, J-Palm, unfortunately. But definitely not crashing, and 100% not down to poor driving standards, not at all. Not in any way, shape or form whatsoever. I don't know where you got that idea from. If you think that, you're totally delusional.
We're all having a picnic at the top of Radion. And anyone is invited. Jose is 100% invited. He just has to stop this lap.
For sure, yeah, he just needs to pull over to the side of the road, you know. He must be bored of winning races. He won last week at Hungary by 1,000,000 miles. He's been the man to beat throughout the course of this race. Come on, Just Jose, you know you want to stop. It must be getting tiring out the front now. You give it to somebody else. GDBO, your teammate, still hasn't taken a win this season, for goodness sake. Give him a chance, man.
We've got triangle ham sandwiches if he wants one.
Triangle ham sandwiches. As long as you've got, if you've got any of those, what are they called? Those double-decker ones, then I'll happily take one of those.
Oh yeah, I can make you one right now if you want.
Or a club sandwich, maybe something like that. They're definitely tickle my fancy.
Cooking with the commentators.
Yeah, cooking with the commentators. Gary, I don't. What happened to Gary? I can't. Oh yeah, he crashed through Elrouge and Radion. Yeah, he's having a picnic with us.
Hi Gary, nice to see you here at the driver's hut right now, just chilling out. I'm still in my picnic chair, to be fair, and enjoying the sun. I really don't care what's going on circuit right now. I know there's 2 AlphaTauris leading out in front, but yeah, that's the norm, isn't it, in this championship?
No, it's usually an AlphaTauri and a McLaren, or a McLaren and an AlphaTauri.
I knew there was something missing.
Yeah.
What happened to Matt? He was second, wasn't he?
He has to do a drive-through.
Oh my god, Matt, what are you doing? This is your chance. No green pies, no me. You need to score maximum points, and your teammate has gone and stuffed it as well, so I bet Matt isn't really happy with his teammate.
Just Jose's out the front, and he's on an absolute mad one tonight, so what do you expect?
You know, I think I know what it is. My teammate Penguin Dude, he wasn't at Hungary, and he wasn't at this race. And I've had horrendous races. I think it's him I've been missing.
I can't comment on my mistakes, I'm just a bad driver.
Oh, we know that, don't worry about that.
So Dan very much facing up to the facts here tonight, but anyway.
Come and give me a race again in the Formula Renault if you like.
Wow.
I thought that you might change your mind on that. At least I can practice and sense for that now.
We'll not talk about that.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see you two race each other in, and that's GT3s. I know that Dan is thinking up a master plan of entering GT3s next season on Project Cars 2 in the Tier 2 Championship. So Green Pies, yeah, if you don't get promotion up to Tier 1...
That's Jose goes fastest.
I'm not sure. We'll have to hold fire and wait and see on that one for tomorrow. But if you guys don't know what we're talking about right now, then what we're talking about is the Project Cars 2 GT3 League, which will be on tomorrow night from 5 PM BST, that's UK time. Make sure you tune in. Watkins Glen, always a bit of a thriller, and wet weather expected for the Tier 1 race. So yeah, we're very much in anticipation of that one. Tuning in from 5 PM for Tier 2, which Green Pies will be out on track in, and then Tier 1s will be following on at 6 o'clock. 2 races for Tier 1, sprint and a feature race. Always an exciting spectacle, the GT3s. Myself, Dan, Sergey will all be in the commentary box for that one. So definitely come along, support us on the stream. But we're currently seeing the fight for the final podium spot right now. Brown McClure and Big Boy Brace is separated by 0.3 of a second as they come down the hill up in towards turn 10, and Big Boy Brazier still not quite able to get something done here with Brown McClue's. He's been on the back of him for quite a few laps. Brown McClue's running on hard tyres, some very worn out hard tyres as well. Big Boy Brazier should have a lot more grip out there. It's just a case of where he can get the move done, I think. But he's a little bit close coming up towards campus, and you see there that's Brown McClue's having to defend towards the middle of the track. Big Boy Brazier can't get it around him. It was a little bit of a half-hearted defence from Brown McClue's, but Big Boy Brazier didn't want to chance it. Still 3.5 laps left to go. He doesn't need to put all his cards on the table just yet. He can just keep them close to his chest, just go again, bide his time, and think about the right moment to go for an attack. But just Jose now checking out at the front. I was mentioning a couple of laps ago he wasn't really pulling away at the rate that he usually does, but he's now completely thrown that one to bed, and he's now absolutely blasting away at the front.
He's just teasing.
That's what I said. I said he must have been teasing us, and it clearly is the case. Yeah, he is. He's very much keeping us on his toes. Keeping us on our toes.
Just like GDBO, come on mate, let's have a lovely AlphaTauri 1-2. Let's really rub salt in the wound for Matt and Green Pies right now. Let's absolutely dominate that spot. So then when they go to Monza, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I think what we need is to make it completely spec, so we can't even change the setup. and then you'll see who the fastest drivers are.
True, yeah. But all about driver skill at that
Should we
point.
run Formula 2 instead for Monza?
Do you know what?
That would be quite
The only G said, because next season we're planning on running a 2-tier structure for F1, so we'll run tier 2s at sort of the same time we're running tier 1 now, and then we'll move tier 1 back to around 8 o'clock. Or maybe 8:15, something like that. You know, we'll have to wait and see. But for next season, we're thinking of doing a 2-tier structure. And the only G actually spoke to him a while back about this, and he said he wanted to run Formula 2s for the second tier. And myself and Dan actually drove the Formula 2s about a week ago. For me, it was the first time in Formula 2s, and I said, "There's no way we're going to let our new drivers in our second tier take to the track in these. It's just not going to work. We're not going to allow new drivers who we've never had the chance to analyse, to put through our tests. We're never going to be able to let them take to the track in these. They're too difficult."
Yeah, Apex, you've missed everything. You've missed Matt getting drive-through, which is the important thing, and you'll like the most, secondly, Gary dropped it. I'm in the commentary box somehow, so yeah, I've ended up in the wall. Jaffa Cake and Red Dancers. Yeah, Green Pies has ended up dragging it. I think something has happened to our cars. Like someone sabotaged our cars because Andy was all alone, and so they decided, oh, let's sabotage the other two commentators' cars so that they can get in the commentary box with Andy right now. So that's what's basically happening.
Well, talking of me being alone, we are actually joined by Emo Guy with 2 laps left to go. He's jumped in the box. Ian, you've missed an absolute belter of a race, my son.
I really do apologise for that. I had to go pick up my daughter for 2 weeks, and on the way back, half the motorway was closed because a car was on fire.
Oh my goodness. It wasn't your car, was it?
No.
Alright, thank goodness for that. Because that would not have been good. But currently, we've had a bit of an interesting racing. We've got 6 cars left from a 15-car start. Yeah, so lots of drivers crashing out. It's
we didn't crash.
yeah, rumour has it that there was somebody holding up a sign coming through El Rouge and Radion, just on the right-hand side, and it said, no, basically it had like a target on it. It said like 50 points if you hit this, and so drivers have been veering off the track, crashing into the wall, left, right, and centre, coming through that section of the track, and it's caused some problems with the drivers. Unfortunately, Dan didn't even bin it there; he binned it somewhere else.
I was going to say, I didn't hit Radion, I hit the bus stop chicane.
No,
Yeah.
Dan was just a bad driver.
Dan was the back marker of a trio of cars, and he just decided to wipe out 2 innocent drivers going about their race in front of him for no reason.
Wipe out 2 innocent drivers that make no damage to them. They were completely fine.
So basically, you know, Dan did to them what he did to you at Simply.
Oh no. Anyway, guys, Just Jose still leading out in front right now. Just Jose crosses the line to start the final lap of the race at Spa-Francorchamps. And yeah, this is nearly the end of the session, guys. I've had a great time, and I've got to go right now because I need a shower. See you all later.
Right, Unorthodox has departed from the commentary box, but we currently got Brown McClues and People of Brazier still fighting it out over 3rd place. 8/10 of a second separating these two. Can Big Boy Brazier mount one last attack on this last lap?
In chat, the only G's just have to say watch Matt and stop watching the leader.
Ooh. I just have G, look. We've got Big Boy Brazier in the slipstream of Brown McClues. Is a little bit too far back. He will have DRS, but it looks like it's not going to come to any avail. I wonder if Big Boy Brazier has got a little bit of damage on that car. Doesn't look like he's quite in range. Matahimovic, though, is within a second. He's within 4/10 of Lucas Roth. He's got really good closing speed coming towards Lacombe. He's looking to the inside there, and on soft rubber, fresh soft rubber, Matahimovic breezes past Lucas Roth up into 5th place. Relatively routine there for the Racing Point, and it will be 10 points towards his championship. Not what he would have hoped for at the beginning, but oh, has he got a penalty?
He's got 9 seconds to Lucas's 3 seconds.
No. Big Boy Brazier still trying to get past Brown McClues if he can. Big Boy Brazier on fresher medium rubber compared to Brown McClues' worn out hard tyres, but is it going to be enough? We'll have to see. The wall saying massive shout out to the commentary box. Absolutely fun and breathtaking to watch. Sad to see Dan in the wall. So was I, the wall, to be fair. I was hoping that yeah, wait, what's Dan doing inside you? What's going on here, the wall? Is there something you want to tell us there, mate?
That's a bit... Whoa, this is really closed up the front. This is really closed up.
Just Jose's, yeah, he's trying to make a formation finish here with GDBO. Brown McClues is going to try and take advantage of this if he can. Laying on the brakes into the bus stop, but it's going to be just Jose taking another win for this season here in the Formula 1 Championship. It's going to be And the victory here at Spa, just Jose takes the checkered flag and closes the gap to Green Pies to 26 points. GDBO, just Jose's teammate, coming over to take a team 1-2 for Alpha Tauri. Brown McClugs completes the podium. Big Boy Brazier finishes in 4th. Matahimovic crosses the line to finish him P5, but he will drop to P6 due to the penalties. Unfortunate there for him. Just Jose, though, has made it back-to-back wins here in the Formula 1 Championship, and he's putting the pressure on your Green Pies after this round going into Monza next week. You said you feel like you got the pace over him around Monza, but just tell us, are you feeling the pressure a little bit more now that that gap has been carved down? It was 68 points 2 rounds ago. It now sits at 26. What are your thoughts on that?
No, because Penguin Dude will be back next week, so I'll have my teammate back.
You have your wingman back.
I was enjoying the triangle sandwiches. They're worth more than points will ever be.
Don't worry, I'm about to talk that because I'm ordering McDonald's right now.
I was driver of the day, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. The Unorthodox there was the best man on the grid by far.
And that whole incursion, I'm going to say I feel more sorry for the wall than what I do for you.
Well,
What, the actual, the driver of the wall, or the actual wall?
The wall. The wall.
the actual wall. Right.
The wall as opposed to the wall.
The wall goes to the wall.
There we have it, ladies and
Anyway,
gentlemen.
let's
That was the Formula 1 Championship here, round 14 at Spa. It was just Jose taking the win at the GDBO and Brown McClugs. Please, guys, drop a like on the video if you haven't already before we get off air. Huge thank you to all of our Patreons at Motive, and join us tomorrow for the GT3s on Project Cars 2, followed by the Formula Renaults following on immediately after that. But from all of us, from the entire commentary booth, and there's a lot of us in here, guys, I want to say a huge thank you. And yeah, have a great evening and catch you very soon.